Hello all, this is Full Metal Kendo. Look at that sunset. That gorgeous, gorgeous sunset. Yeah. It's pretty nice out today, so I'm out for a walk. As you can see. Yeah. I'm dealing with an infection, an oral infection, so I'm trying to drink more water. I only drink like 2 sodas a day now, which is surprising that I'm even able to do that. And not like cave into, oh, maybe I'll drink 3 now. I've been drinking more water. Trying to anyway. Trying to buy more water. But I really like bottled water. I don't really like tap water, but I'll drink the tap water if I have to. If I run out, you know? Anyway, so I wanted to talk a little bit about about the Xbox price increases. I'm not going to be overly critical because I feel like being overly critical is just going to tick me off because I'm not saying that Xbox don't deserve your criticisms. I'm saying for me, I like to keep myself critical but like calm. That's how I feel like I would describe, oh, look at that sunset. That's gorgeous. Look at how the water is right now. See, this is probably the only nice thing about living on the coast. Although, to be perfectly fair with you, the California coast looks a lot nicer, if you know what I mean. Anywho, speaking of which, so Xbox has increased the prices of their consoles. The Xbox Series S, which, by the way, I got launch day back in the day because I pre-ordered for $300. It actually cost $315 or $16 or so dollars for the pre-order and the payment. Got delivered to my sister's house because I wasn't having it delivered to my place because I was working around the time that USPS would have shown up, or FedEx, or UPS, or some shit like that. Anyway, that was a different time. I was working a completely different job than I am now. Actually, now I work 2 jobs. But $300 back in the day. Now they're going to start charging $500 for the 512 gigabyte model, the one that I got at launch, the 512 gigabyte model, the Xbox Series S. Now, be aware, back in the day, I also paid the COVID price for the Series X. A few years after I got my Series S, I was like, okay, I want to play in 4K, true 4K. I'm going to buy an Xbox Series X. I still have both to this day. I got it for, I think it was like between $600 and $700 COVID price. I remember I tried ordering one through eBay at one point, but what ended up happening was that they, the seller, that is, 2 months went past and they never shipped it. And it was over 2 months. And it was supposed to be delivered by a certain date. They're like, okay, there's a 2-month window. I'm like, okay. I'm like, buddy, when are you going to ship the fucking Xbox? I've been waiting for my Series X. He's like, oh, don't worry, I'll ship it. I'm like, I called eBay support because I didn't want to deal with him. He must have scammed me or spent the money or whatever. And I told him what happened. I told him the guy hasn't shipped it. The guy clearly took the money and ran. And he doesn't actually have an Xbox Series X. And they refunded me. Completely 100% refunded me for that Xbox. Went back to my credit card that I no longer have, but I ended up using that money to buy a different Xbox. I think I bought it through Walmart or something, a Walmart seller, some shit like that, maybe. I don't exactly remember where I bought my Series X, but I ended up buying one, and I hooked it up, blah, 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 and I have a Series X. Now they want, now for the 1 terabyte Series X that I have, the freaking the black one, the one with the disk drive. If I had waited a little bit longer, I could have gotten the one with with no disk drive, the white one, which looks a lot better in my opinion. It just, the design looks a lot better. It looks better in white. I don't know. Call me crazy. But now, the one that I have, it's going to cost you about $800. For the white one, it's going to cost $750. Holy shit. These price increases are getting ridiculous, okay? It's not my fault that Microsoft is a $1 billion company and they want you to purchase, they want you to use a lot of their AI shit. They're like, AI. All these companies are like, AI, it's the future of computing. And then what happens? Now they're upset because the manufacturers of these components, for example, RAM, solid state drives, SSDs, are now charging an arm and a leg. That's not my fault. I didn't focus the future on AI, dude. I didn't say AI was gonna do incredible things. I'm not making these like machines that are AI beasts for no reason at all, just to drive up the price. Eventually, I imagine they announced something recently that I kind of want, and that's a Surface Laptop Ultra. But if that, knowing Microsoft now, how much money is that going to be? Is that going to be I don't know, $4,000, $3,000? It might even be fucking $5,000. I don't know. But the point is, we were sold on AI, and now we're being punished by paying these exorbitant RAM prices. And the companies are charging us these exorbitant RAM prices because they have to pay a lot of money for these components, for this RAM. Even RAM on Best Buy and Walmart.com costs a lot of money. It's ridiculous. And I'll say this once more. By the time I get a new new gaming PC, because I have a laptop, right? I showed off my laptop quite a few times in this channel, and a bunch of my social medias. But I have a laptop. It's not the, it's a pretty good laptop. It's a Snapdragon X laptop. I want to increase the SSD storage. SSDs are kind of expensive right now, though. Although, to be honest with you, and I'm looking at an SSD that's like $500 or $600, and it's a 4 terabyte. Who would have thought? 4 terabyte, $600. I'm looking at that, but this is with an asterisk. But, when I get a new PC, it's gonna be very expensive for that PC. But I already have one picked out. It looks pretty nice, unless I find one that's better or more affordable. But they're not likely to be affordable now, with them increasing the prices of RAM stuff. And under the Trump administration, there's no monitoring of any of this shit. They're just allowed to charge whatever the fuck they want for RAM prices, SSD prices. It's ridiculous, man. I did buy a 4 terabyte SSD for my second PlayStation 5, right? But anyway, AI is shit. Right now, it's not really useful for anything other than, oh, will you tell me what happened in this game and why this happened? That's really all I use AI for. Anyway, see ya.